Hey everyone, happy Friday. Okay, so hopefully by this point, you have completed the Unit 1.1, 1.2 Wildfires Chemistry Notebook. That looks like this. Every yellow box should be completed and the questions should all be answered at that point. So if you're watching this video and you haven't finished the notebook, please go back and complete the notebook and then turn that in on Google Classroom. For when you're finished with the notebook and you turn that in, you're going to go to notice that there's another assignment here called Unit 1.3 Wildfire Model. What you're going to be doing for this assignment is creating a model for how a wildfire or a large fire can occur. So when you click on this, you'll notice there's one thing here, which is Google Slides. Click on that assignment and this will pop up. There are 3 slides here. The first one is the directions. The second page is just a place for you to take notes. If you need to write anything down for yourself or reminders, I wanted to make sure to give you a place in order to do that. And the third slide, you'll notice is blank and it says, My model, what has to happen for a large fire to occur? So this is where you're going to paste your model. So let's look at our directions briefly, and then I'll go over what a model is and what you should have in your model. So if you're looking at this slide with the directions, let's just read through them briefly. It says, Unit 1.3, construct a model. Develop a model for what has to happen for a large fire to occur. A model is a visual representation that describes a phenomenon. So a phenomenon is just anything that happens in the world. So like a fire is a phenomenon. You may make a poster, video, animation, or drawing, and you may need to do some research for this. Now, it shouldn't take you too long, however, and it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be a work of art. However, I do want to see explanations in the form of like an illustration or something other than writing that explains these 4 things. So number 1, I want to see where the energy changes are in the wildfire. I want to see where mass changes, and I want to see the fuel sources. And basically explain any other observable changes with your images in your model. You're going to copy and paste it to the last slide on this Google Slides and submit it by midnight before our next class meets. So that would be next Tuesday at midnight. All right, let's look at what is a model anyway. All right, so a model is a representation of something from the real world, but a model is not the real world, but we can use it to tell the story. All right, so for example, here's a cat, right? We all know what a cat looks like, and here is a theory of what a cat looks like on paper. So this is a cartoon cat. We know there's no cat in real life that actually looks like this, but we know that this is what it is representing. So a model is not perfect. There's always issues with models, but they help us tell the story of what's happening. So when we're talking about atoms and particles, right, a particle could be a molecule, it could be a big compound, not this big, right? They're still microscopic, but or it could be a single atom or element. In the past, we haven't been able to actually see atoms, but now we do have the technology to be able to use scanning electron microscopes to see what things look at the particle level. And if you look at these pictures, you'll notice there's one shape that you see over and over again, and that is a sphere. And so you see all these little tiny spheres everywhere, and these are our particles. So these are the shapes we're going to use to represent those particles throughout the year. All right, so if I look at an example of a model, actually we're going to go ahead and